Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Unique.Builder coming with my zombie build. Actually changed a couple cards. I threw in another engine, something that I thought would actually help the deck out a little bit in its own way. Sorry I haven't put a video out in quite some time. Recently I've been sick, and I've been working 7 days a week. Right now I'm actually in a hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's been kind of hard keeping up with everything that's going on. But now that that's updated, let's get into a deck profile. Starting off with the main deck, we have 2 solitaire to be able to go into 1 unit zombie. I'm only running 1. Solitaire only has 2 targets in this whole deck. Next is 2 copies of Banshee. Basically just a substitute for terraforming. Pretty easy to actually pitch to the grave. 1 Glow Bloom and 2 Bollard Rock. Basically it's like running 3 Bollard Rock. And since we're running the whole zombie engine, we're able to pitch the bloom, and most of the time, if not every single time, we'll have zombie world face up on field, so we'll be able to get bloom effect to special from the deck. And for the other engine, we're running Gozuki with the 3 Mizuki. This is pretty much what I preferred running over Unizombie, because Gozuki, he can pitch a zombie from deck to grave, most of the time being Mizuki. If not, it'll end up being Glow Bloom or Banshee. But basically Gozuki can pitch a zombie to grave the same as Unizombie, but along with that, if you link off with it and it leaves the field, you can banish another zombie to be able to special summon from your hand. So if you dead draw a Bollard Rock, you can special instead of discarding and waiting till standby phase. And actually, to complete the Mizuki engine, I'm actually running 1 Glow Up Bulb. This is more of just to make Nat Beast. But that's it for the zombie engine of the deck. We run the 1 Grepher and the 1 Armageddonite. This is mostly just to pitch your Glow Up Bloom Bollard Rock if you want the 2nd copy engraved, or it also goes along with the other engine that I play. I run 3 Mothman, and this is actually the only danger that I run. Basically, it's a guaranteed draw. If you don't discard and you miss his target, you get a special into draw. If he hits himself out of hand, you still get to draw a card and you get a dead card out of your hand. So if you have a Mizuki in hand, you can pitch that to grave, banish to special, or you can discard anything else that you need in grave at the moment. And as for the other engine, I'm actually running a small Orcust engine. 1 Bombard, 1 Cybele Skeleton, 1 Harpor, and 2 Orcust Nightmare. This is all I'm running for the Orcust, aside from the spell card and 2 extra monsters. And in terms of hand traps, I only run the 2 Ash Blossom. Onto the spells, I run 3 Zombie World, essentially running 5 copies. It's pretty easy to get into. I actually faced dinosaurs, and this actually was almost an auto win. Just activating it, he couldn't summon Tyranno, and he couldn't summon with the big pill, and he wasn't able to get into his twin twisters. 3 called by the grave to make sure you can actually ditch to grave. Double twister. This pretty self-explanatory. Just get out of any back row. This is the Orcust spell. I run 1 return, just a free draw 2 basically. 1 Rhoda for the warriors. 1 for 1. You can summon the Bloom Bombard, the Orcust Bombard, or you could summon the Bulb and go into Nat Beast. Along with that, 1 Foolish, because it's a zombie deck, along with being a Orcust deck. The last 2 cards is basically 2 Monster Borns to be able to extend your plays into whatever you need it to be. Next, it's going to be the extra deck. There's 3 synchros in total. Nat Beast is 1. The Zombie Necro Dragon is 2. The last one is actually Borreload Savage. This is actually, they're all pretty easy to make, pretty standard for me. 1 Time Thief Redoer. I don't actually run the whole engine to go into the bigger Exceed monster. I just run the Time Thief. Each of his effects are actually quite useful. Along with that, you can take the top card of your opponent's deck, so if it's something they need, you just take it and they can't use it. Your bosses are level 8, so you can go into this and it's a spell negate, easy to get into. For the links, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Wee Witch's Apprentice for when you're locked into the Dark Attribute. The couple Nightmare cards, Cerberus and Phoenix. The Vampire Sucker. Running Galatea, just the 1 Galatea and 1 Longirsu. These are the only 2 that I run, mostly because I haven't been able to find the Link 4 to be able to use him, but these are actually pretty nice. You can spin something, you can bounce something back with Longirsu. It's pretty useful engine. You get a draw 2, and at the same time, with Skeleton, you can summon the Link 2 back Galatea, and then link into Longirsu to just spin something back. It's pretty easy to do. The last Nightmare, the Unicorn, and then for the Link 4s, Borreload and Saryuja. With a decent hand, you can actually make Saryuja, and I was able to make Saryuja, Borreload, and Borreload Savage Dragon in the same turn, along with a Longirsu to be able to bounce something back. But aside from that, I'm actually going to show you the side deck that I have. It's nothing special, it's just a bunch of cards that I thought might help against certain matchups. I have Chaos Hunter. This actually came up when I was playing against a pure Orcust deck. whenever they would try to banish, you special that. Back row decks, you have Danko. Pretty much any matchup that you feel is necessary, Prankatops. I cited 2 Drolls because it's not actually useful against most matchups. Basically, if it's a striker matchup, I'll put it in. Mask of Restrict. This one is actually a pretty tricky one. This was actually in case I faced Dracos or Prankids, because Prankids, the extra deck monsters actually tribute for cost, so you can hit them just like hand traps with the Called by the Grave, or you can activate this and they can't tribute at all. I only run 2 red reboots along with the 2 twisters. It's actually pretty decent. Reboot, basically the idea would be that I have enough draw to see it whenever I sight it in. And the last 2 cards is 2 Rivalry of the Warlord. This should actually be pretty self-explanatory. You have the field spell, they can only summon zombies as long as they had a monster on the field when you activated it. But that's what I got so far. I was thinking about maybe adding in a kind of small dragon engine, but I'd have to see how that works out, because right now it's relatively tight space with all the engines that are in here at the moment. But it really helps out considering I have 3 boss monsters in the extra deck and they're dragons. So I'll do some testing. I'll see how it works out. I'll see you guys in the next video.